everybody get down to the funky stuff.
Give it to me, give it to me. Give it to me, baby.
I know that you're good for me, and I know that I'm good for you. The things you would do for me are the things I would do for you. I know that you...
Well, it looks like we've got a series on our hands after all, and that was a game and a half. That's one way to describe it, because my goodness. Dagda, where do we even begin with a game like that? Because that was just sheer chaos from the start to the end.
I literally turned to you halfway through that game and was like, I have to analyze this. I have to look back and go, all right, where do I even begin? But I suppose we can kind of look at the very, very start of the game. We'll take it like bit by bit as we go through this. Because, yeah, I mean, at least at the start of the game, IG looked good. I mean, we started to get Baolan out of that bottom lane. He was working with Ning. We had that system that we were talking about in place. And then the system started.
And then we witnessed Rookie living in Elo hell. This Nico pick, I was so excited for it in game number 1. Didn't really get to see much out of it. Game number 2, some of these Nico ults were unbelievable. I mean, the man is going to be MVP coming out of the back of that game, as you'd expect, because some of those mid-game fights, I mean, Rookie basically won them by himself.
But it wasn't even just the Pop Blossoms. It was those Bramble Barbs as well that were doing so much work, consistently locking up 1 to 2 people, like predicting movements from so many people, find himself out of sticky situations thanks to those. But Rookie did look unstoppable. The problem was that FPX did a pretty good job of stopping the rest of the map around him. And that's where we saw some struggles coming in for Rookie.
Yeah, I mean, we started things off strong, though. We started things off fantastic as the combo came out from the side of FPX, but it was answered beautifully by IG.
And this was the play that I was talking about, with Baolan at least getting out of that bottom side, working with Ning, setting up the solo laners like we talked about. Baolan just missed a couple of hooks along the way, or at least hit them in places he didn't want to. And it did give Rookie this opportunity to get himself set up, working alongside Ning in that mid game. The issue was, as we started to move forward, the lead that IG had gained for themselves started to slip away as Baolan was getting caught out, the Shy was getting caught out as well, and from that point, all that hard work that Rookie had done to match these roams from Doomby to get this lead for himself started to fall apart.
And this was the fight where Rookie really put his foot down in the early game and made this game happen for him and his team, stopping the ult coming out from Doomby, just stopping absolutely everything FPX wanted to do.
And you see that double lock up there as well, predicting the movement from TN, then getting the long range Q to finish him off as well. This was just beautiful stuff from Rookie, and that's why I love watching this guy. Just the sheer level of raw talent that oozes from every play is unbelievable.
And it's like we get to see picks like the Nico that we see so rarely, and then it's Rookie that brings it out pretty regularly, honestly, in the LPL. Not so much this split, but over the course of his career, it's definitely been a comfort pick for him. And when it comes to the team fights, this is where Nico thrives. And when you're against things like a Galio that wants to get in, things like a Renekton that wants to jump in, like, Nico is the perfect pick.
Exactly, and you can see here, he's not even using that ultimate in some of these situations. It's more about playing at range, getting a lot of these auto attacks down, weaving in these spells to lock up, get that damage in place, and overall, it's the method to the madness that Rookie brings here with this Nico pick.
And this fight right here felt like the moment where IG were able to regain control of things, because FPX had thwarted their siege in the bottom side. Then this fight happens, Crisp overextends a bit to set this up, and then IG got Baron again.
Yeah, this was a big mistake from Crisp in that fight. That overextension there, especially as you have the Gnar about to transform, where you have the Shy in a perfect position that if any sort of follow-up comes through, he just Gnars everyone into the wall. That was the problem there for FPX. Overcommitment gave IG that control at the 33-minute mark in towards the Baron. But then we saw Gimgoon going, hang on a second, lads.
It wasn't the cleanest game here for IG, because they get the Baron there. They then try and make a siege on the bottom side, but Gimgoon, I want to give him a round of applause. Like, I want to send him one of those Reddit silvers where it's like, you tried. You did your best, because Gimgoon on this Renekton, diving in time and time again, getting onto the bottom lane of IG, Puff and Baolan,
Puff specifically,
every single time was able to make that happen as soon as they were trying to siege with the Baron. The Baron seemed like a negative buff for IG across this game.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Every single time we saw Puff and Baolan start to approach these inhibitor towers, Flash was up on this Renekton, Gimgoon's like, I got him, instantly goes in, and it was very similar to the combo we saw in game number 1, just a little bit harder to execute on. Gimgoon still managed to make it work, though.
Somehow, at the end of the game as well, it was FPX that had every advantage. It was FPX with 5 members strong, pushing up the mid lane, and IG flip it on its head with a 3v5. Like, with how long of a brawl this was, 26 to 27 scoreline, I feel like this is the way the game had
But
to
that's
end.
what we said, is that you can never count out IG. Because even when it's the 30 to 70% play and they've got a 30% chance of making it work, screw it, 25% chance of making it work, that's when they'll come out. And that's exactly what we saw. A 3v5, backs against the wall, and that's where IG show up. They managed to get all the poke down from Rookie. The Shy is landing crucial boomerangs. When he eventually transforms into Mega, you already know FPX have got to hit the hills, because if you end up getting caught in this just moving machine that IG was, you're done for.
I will say, I'm just glad we got to see a game like
Yeah.
this. After I saw game number 1, I was a little bit worried that we were just going to see an absolute steamroll from FPX. It didn't feel like IG had woken up just yet. Maybe they had a coffee in the break, but they came back and we got an absolute brawl. That game epitomizes what I love about LPL, honestly.
That was the LPL.
And
That
let's
was
be
exactly
honest,
what the
it's
LPL
the two
is.
teams that I think best represent the LPL doing it as well. We've got 5 games of this. We're going to full distance, I reckon.
And that's what I loved, was even when we saw these two teams facing at Worlds in 2019, it was like, oh, this strategy from FPX, the way IG faced. But when you get IG versus FPX, the gloves are off. It is all battles all the time. The brawls are coming out. And that's what we're going to see for the rest of this series as well.
And that's the thing, right? We are fighting for the opportunity to represent the region once more. Both these guys world champions, and whoever loses this series has no chance of making it to the World Championship. Both of them have had a rough year, let's be honest here. Like, neither of these guys are favorites coming into playoffs, but they managed to turn it around at the end of the day. And now, in the lower bracket, we're going it feels like we're probably going to go the whole distance.
And the funny thing is that they're only fighting for play-ins. If you are some poor, unlucky team who's come around and like, we've made it to Worlds, we're in play-ins, and you're against FPX or IG, how is that fair?
I don't know. That's just...
I
That's
don't know.
just not
I
okay.
don't know.
It's just not okay. I don't want to be in that playing group. I do want to watch that playing group
Yeah, I
because
do,
that's
yeah.
going to be hilarious to witness. But they're not there just yet. And also, they have a whole extra best of 5 against LGD. Whoever wins this one still has to move further on into the bracket. But enough about the bracket. We're heading towards game number 3 of this series as our players will be heading back onto the stage. And I will say that now that it's FPX's turn to pick a side, they're going to stick with this blue side. So it feels like both teams very happy to stay on their respective sides of the map.
And it's interesting to see the way that IG are drafting this, because they're pretty happy to give over this Galio pick, assuming that FPX are going to take it very quickly, opting in towards the Nico, and twice now we've seen Rookie dominate that mid lane matchup, working this time with Baoline and Ning to set up advantages in the early game for IG. So I actually kind of understand why IG are opting towards this red side in a lot of situations, plus they've been so good at giving that counter pick both towards Rookie and also towards the Shy in that top lane when they're on red side. So it is again about getting this solo lane domination for IG.
So speaking of the solo lane domination then, I want to move the conversation towards our draft. Do FPX have to start to respect ban things like the Nico coming out? Because they were banning a lot of things away from the Shy. Doesn't feel like the Shy is the guy that's popping off today. Doesn't feel like he's the guy you got to respect ban.
There's always the threat there, though, that you can have him pop off. But honestly, I don't see what you try and substitute in for these bans. Like, Lucian, you definitely want to weigh, especially as, like, you've now got the mid lane, you Lucian. You know that the Shy wants to try and pick that up in the top lane as well. The Callista, the flex power between both Puff and the Shy in the top lane again. The set is like the perfect pick, I feel like, for Ning in the jungle, where you've got strong early game presence, great engages and team fights, a little bit of playmaking ability there too, plus the flexibility down towards Baoline again. It's trying to minimize the amount of flexibility that is there for IG in their draft.
I will say, when it comes to the draft, it does feel like IG did their homework well when it comes to the bans, because game number 1, they ban Leona and Renekton, so this Camille and Thresh came out for the side of FPX. Then game number 2, Camille and Thresh are banned, so Renekton and Leona are locked in for the side of FPX. So it feels like IG have a very good read on what FPX wants to do. Game number 1, they weren't really able to answer it. Game number 2, I mean, it wasn't a clean answer, but it was an answer. We're going to an even scoreline as we head towards game number 3. Now my question is, if IG changes things up here, because they're the ones now with a little bit of a momentum. Granted, it's, you know, it's a little dicey, but they're still going to be feeling good after a win here.
I think for myself, I think IG, yeah, look, let's go rinse and repeat. Let's try and continue powering through these solo lanes. It's been the IG way this whole time. I think for FPX, maybe actually look to swap it up a bit, because as we saw, the Shy, even when you put him behind, he can still have these impactful moments, and it hasn't actually mattered massively for IG if he is behind. Instead, I'd like to see the attention from FPX go towards FPX Classics, go down towards that bottom lane, help LWX and Chris, because they've actually been smashing Puff and Bowland for a lot of this with this pushing Ashe, which this Leona, who end up winning out in that Nautilus matchup. Let's try and power through there. Let's use those advantages, get a couple of these towers, and then do what we saw in game number 1. Bounce between these objectives, starting to get a bunch of gold, the dragons are racking up, we're looking good then as FPX.
I will say, it does feel a little bit like the first few minutes of the game are super crucial, where if FPX can play a slow style like we saw them in game number 1, if they can control that early game and opt out of these fights, feels like they're in a great spot. But when IG were able to put their best foot forward here in game number 2, once they had a bit of a goal lead and could pressure FPX, that's when we got into this chaotic brawl, and that's when IG basically dragged FPX down to their level and beat them with experience.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was a very, very back and forth game, but that's the big thing here is that, like, even though we look at IG, IG's the victors, it could have gone over to FPX at any point in time.
It really could have. It was a dicey game number 2, but it's an even scoreboard, and we're ready to jump into game number 3. We're going to pass it over to our casters once again to take us away with the third game of the series.
Thank you very much, gents. It is good to see the series go on the distance. Lyric Hysterics here. We're going to be rolling with you through all the punches. 51 punches thrown in that very second game. And boy, oh boy, do we now have a warmer series than we expected.
Look, were there a lot of mistakes? Of course. But do we love watching all of these mistakes?
Say it.
Like, even more, of course.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. IG and FPX running toe-to-toe now. They said some really good points on the desk. It hasn't been the cleanest year. It hasn't been the best year for Worlds representatives of the past. But this is such an important matchup, and, you know, you got to go all out.
What's funny is it's actually been a holistic good year for IG in the sense that regular splits in spring, first place. Regular split in summer, third place. Like, they kept going into playoffs looking like they should be a coherent, dominant team.
Went to MSC, right, but then came fourth. It's these standout moments that I think give a tangent to IG's journey throughout the year. But
we also need to remember that FPX did finish third in spring.
Yeah.
So, you know, it is there for them. I also agree with what Munchable said. It feels like if FPX can play a bit of a slower paced game, that, you know, like, again, they have good macro, they don't have to go through the motions, but if it goes fast, if IG's able to pull them down into the mud, that's when we see a lot of those oversteps that we saw in game 1, especially coming out from people like Crisp, LWX.
Yeah, the trading that comes through. The early game also talked about on that desk where the early game has dictated a lot of the pace. You know, Gimgoon getting ganked in game 1. Game 2, the skirmish around the top side at 7 or 8 minutes. What do we get going into game 3? Because FPX electing blue side. IG staying on red.
Same bans.
The exact same, sir. Ashe first pick. Is it easy? Yes, it is.
Yeah, I like it as well. Like they were talking about on the desk, they've been able to do on the spot lane every single game. They've had priority 14 to play around. It sets up them to get both of those early objectives. We saw them getting Dragon and being able to rotate and get the Herald as well. And
okay.
My God, we have the exact same drafts.
So this is going to be Nico, right?
Man, who knows? Does even Rookie know?
IG, if they're doing exactly the same thing that we've seen in the past couple of games, instead of that Nautilus, Nico once again, and this is where things change up. Because Rookie's been great on this champion in Game 1, Game 2. He's been bullying Doomby out of lane and netting those CS advantages. But I want to see what changes the last 2 picks.
Yeah, okay, so we're at least seeing their bans stay the same so far. Last time they banned Camille. This would be where FPX answer with something like a Quinn or Jace. And it does look like we're just going forward, so maybe we can expect to see IG just pick up that Nautilus on 4 and...
Renekton ban, though.
Ooh, you're right, so it is a big difference. Last time they did, of course, ban out the Quinn here, but no reason to ban out the Quinn when you yourselves are not going to get the Renekton.
I mean, you already have a bit of global pressure with the center, maybe a GP ban, but the Shy doesn't always opt into this.
I mean, it's not a very... You know, we've seen him play it twice this split, so...
Nah banned instead there, so... This is why I rely on you, Lyric. You carry me forward, sir, and carry me forward to the
I'm just guessing a Nautilus. Like,
right.
You've gone Nautilus every other time. It seems like they want to keep it out of the hands of Crisp. It seems like Balance comfortable playing it. You know, all of his dredge lines hit somewhere. And I feel like that's what's important.
He's kind of like Chris this split, right? Chris is just more consistent about hitting a wall.
I feel like Balan has been a good player for IG.
Yeah.
Crisp is still pretty good.
Hey, he's had a good series so far. The Thresh comes in. Volley Bear!
His game 1 was great.
Hey,
And
we got to change.
it's great to see him go back to that game 1 pick as well, going back to that Thresh, which he did perform so exceptionally on. And then this has been a Gimgoon champion. Despite the nerfs coming through on the Q movement speed, it is Gimgoon's second most played with the Renekton.
And
It's going to be the Ken.
you know that the Shy's most played career-wise champion is this Kennen. So we'll see that all-in potential once more set up for Invictus Gaming. I want you to run me through FPX's draft first because this is rinse and repeat of what we're seeing, bar the top lane pick.
It's going to go the same way, right? They're going to want to play around this spot pressure once Dragon comes up, try to get an early Drake. At that 8-minute mark, they're going to be able to transition that top and get Herald.
Yep.
And they're trying to play the map. They're trying to play this rotation game. They're trying to punish IG with the globals coming out from the Galio ultimate as well as the Ashe. On the side of IG, though, this one I like a bit more because now you do have a true hard carry in the top side, so we can see Ning put more focus up there, especially once Puff hits that level 6 point. Finally getting to see that Senna ultimate used in an offensive capacity. And then Kennen also fits with Nico in the sense that he does great when champions come in, but also with having a Nautilus in the bot side, you obviously can follow up on an engage as well.
And we've got significant change of damage, right? We've got a bit of AP, got a bit of AD. There's a nice balance meaning here for Invictus Gaming, but after what we saw in Game 2, it does come down to what we've seen in the early game. IG, of course, netted that skirmish, and it was building the bridge from there into mid to late. But things were messy. And to say the least, I think recovering from that second game, we might get even messier. Not really a recovery, is it?
No. And you know, I wonder how these teams will play because I think IG can opt into playing a messier style with having this, and by messier I mean more aggressive, right? I don't want to keep using that term. They can play more for the Shy, give him vision, let him try to dominate this 1v1. We talked about the Dawning Shadows can come out. For FPX, it's been the same game plan every time this series, and I like that they keep going back to it because we've seen how it can work, and we've seen that it does work.
See if they run into it as we go into game number 3. Hello, Boris. As we run into the Rift. One apiece for the elimination match between our two ex-world champions. And not much changes really in draft. For the third time around, we've seen pretty standard picks come through. They know what they like, and they like what they want as we enter the Rift with Double Glacier once again.
He's going for
PTA.
AD Kennen.
Yes, he is.
He's actually been playing this in solo queue. I saw him picking it up the other day, going back to this.
Now, AD Kennen's going to fit in very differently to this composition as we talked about, because the double AP, we expected Slicing Maelstrom with Pop Blossom, bit of a wombo. Is this all about the laning phase and, what, split push pressure?
Like, assuming he does commit to that, right?
Yep.
Because, I mean, technically he can still just go Gunblade and then go, or transition in AP, something like that.
True.
But if it was the AD Kennen, he does commit to that. Yeah, it's a lot more about the, dominating the lane, playing out as a pure split push threat.
Is it funny, though? I mean, the Shy, the AD top player, picks up his most played champion, Kennen, and turns it into an AD threat in this third game. So we'll see. We'll track that. Starts with the Cull, of course, in that top lane with a potion by his hand. It'll be about that first item where we can talk about
And this matchup got even easier this patch where, like we said, the movement speed on Volibear's Q got nerfed, so going to be very easy for the Shy to kite that out as well, get those stuns, and just keep harassing the Volibear down.
Are you ready to watch this level 1 once again? Ignite put down. Third time in a row. Battleland's going to get poked out by LWX and Chris at the exact same bit of health.
How many times does he need to go through this to learn?
Hey, he did a bit more damage this time, though, with Puff.
But you're right, it's happened every single game. I actually can't understand.
So
is it a mind game?
Crispin LWX will hit level 2 first, much like every other game, and then push the wave.
I don't know what to say.
The drafts have been similar, and the
They've
game
actually-
has been similar.
They have actually had that same bot lane every game. They
Yes.
have had Senna Nautilus every game.
And
They played
still
this exact
don't work.
matchup in game 1.
We're having a closer look at top. It's the PTA Kennen talked about there. Overheal, alacrity, bit of attack speed. Resolve was the secondary trait. I believe I saw bone plating.
Yep. So gonna have a bit of safety in the lane, though. Yeah.
Justice Punch used Shield of Durand only on the tip of the tail.
Yep. Nice job of him using that W and getting the movement speed out of it as well.
Nice Tangle Barb. And the lane dominance continues, right? Rookie with individual skill.
Interesting to see that the Shy went towards over here, though. It's viewed as a very greedy rune. You can only take it in like hard-winning matchups to get value out of it. And this is what we set up in draft, that Ning would play more towards topside with this cannon.
And Gimgoon's too far out in this lane. Might have to burn the flash as the Shy comes on in. The smoke screen used nicely. Shielding here from the Sky Splitter, but Ning in position with the end of the line. The flash forward from the Shy, but Gimgoon dodges away from the Q, and here comes Doomby very fast with the Predator. The counter engage, massive as Ning knows he's going to die. Just wants to kill Gimgoon. It's a 1-for-1 trade as rookies come up as well to help out his jungler.
As you pointed out, it was so important that the Shy missed that Q. Had he gotten that, been able to stun down Gimgoon, they probably could have picked up 2 kills. He missed it. Nice dodge coming out from Gimgoon. They end up going 1-for-1. I like that Ning had the confidence to go forward and finish off the kill on Gimgoon, realizing, hey, I have the phase rush. I will be able to get out of here with Rookie's backup.
Really nice. Again, you mentioned it last game. The Goon has had such a good series.
What a strange time we live in where, honestly, Doonby's been the best player on this team even in this series,
Yep.
but Gimgoon's been the clear second.
It's when you don't remove the duct tape and you think, actually, this is just as good as new now, right?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Well, you made the reference originally in the split. I follow your lead.
I'm the reference king, as you know, I've been called my whole life.
Yeah. Very popular, you must be, with the ladies. As we move forward, and I think LWX in this lane, he's by himself at the time being.
And he has the wave in a really good position. He's actually slow pushing it, so he's building up, denying some CS from Puff as well. Right now, he has about a 10 CS lead, but obviously there's a wave stacking into Puff, so that's going to equalize in, you know, just a minute or so.
Sir, we have a longsword on the shot.
Oh, same thing actually happened top, where, of course, you know, the wave did get pushed into Gimgoon, so it is building back up into the Shy, so he's going to be extremely happy with this one.
So as the wave comes through, just note that CS difference should be in favor of 2 or 3 for the Shy as the next wave channels on in. Trying to clear vision now is Tien up towards this top side, and that tri-brush ward going to be quite helpful, but it is FPX who control the river. And Ning is pathing up towards top after clearing out, with Rookie really shoving in hard. This is what we've seen in the regular season. Rookie doesn't care. He'll manipulate his lane.
He actually does it every game.
Yes.
Like, and no matter the champion. Like, he'll blind pick Orianna. He'll, you know, play it into anything, and then he will just be under your turret, permanently pushing you in.
Which might be great, because now with the wave state, Tien's going to get spotted out. Walking into the jungle, Rookie needs to be there. Crisp has roamed up, but Ning might actually find Gimgoon. But he's waiting. Tien now for the 1 versus 1. Ulti not available. Waiting for the blast cone to be used, but shielded around. Ning's in a lot of trouble for Winds of War burn. He's dead. And now the Shy going to get stunned down with the Q from Gimgoon. Doomby's just setting up to push the wave. We might get another kill with a dive imminent.
Yeah, Tien's here, and Crisp is on his way.
And here comes Rookie, though. Pop Blossom is available. Tien flashes away, though. That's going to be a summon and burn, while Rookie now has to defend the Shy, too.
They have a wave as well. They can keep going. They can dive this.
He's under turret. The Shy needs slicing Maelstrom, but he needs to kill that minion wave. I don't think it's going to be in time. The flash shielded Duran onto the Shy. Gets Rookie too. Justice punch with Crisp landing the hook. FPX 4-for-1.
Crisp facilitated all of this as well. He made the roam to mid, which allowed Doinby to walk into the enemy jungle.
God. We're not done, are we? Smoke screen down onto Crisp's Might to get the jungle cam. Teleport's being burned. It is the Shy's coming through. He still wants 6. The ultimate from Doomby to fly through. The Shy gets hit. A major mistake as Gimgoon with the dive survives.
And IG thought that the Shy could TP in, get that level 6, open up the Slicing Maelstrom, and be able to get a few kills in return. He TPs in, gets locked down immediately, and just straight up gets bursted out. Big mistake coming out from IG.
He was hoping he'd get that level 6 and just press R. But now, 3 kills on Tien. Mark number 3. Ning gonna stop the back. And you know what? Tien's like, whatever. I'm so fed, it doesn't matter.
And Tien's also level 6, and Ning's only level 5, so
yeah,
I don't think that's actually a fight that Ning wants.
But what do you do now? You're 2k goal behind 7 minutes into the game. And there is that global pressure from Doomby we talked about. The Shy, very irrelevant at the moment on this AD cannon.
He's still going to do fine in the isolated laning phase just because, again, he's ranged. He has the movement speed coming as well, has the stun, so not much Gimgoon can realistically do. Especially right now while his ult's not up. When that's back up, it will be a good threat, but I like that FPX can consistently threaten this, though. Doinby can just consistently hover. Now he can obviously just full-on commit because of how far forward the Shy is, but the Shy will be feeling constant pressure from the mid lane.
Control Ward is doing a lot of work here, but being pressured from Ning walking up as well. That was actually Rookie who's disguised. Doinby will get Control Ward in the end and try and open up his options in the future. Meanwhile, Baolan is a busy, busy boy. They're going to start Herald, actually, with Doinby in full vision.
Crisp is finally making his way over, but so is Puff. Puff is much closer than LWX and Crisp, so IG should feel in a commanding position to just take this one.
Predator's been used. Enchanted the arrow is available, though, from range. LWX can fire that into the river. We'll do exactly that onto Baolan, who gets nicked. Double shield of drain only to one, though, as the Winds of War with a bit of damage, and the follow comes through as Crisp has nailed a big hook, a double play, and LWX has the slowest Ning over the wall. At the end of the day for Invictus Gaming, they're just getting pummeled once again. Doinby needs that Q to kill the Shy, and he finds it. 0-4, the Shy's having tea time.
7-1, 3K gold lead for FPX, and
oh no, he thought Tien was going to go for Ning. Now no Pop Blossom. Puff will get the double root, but it means absolutely nothing as we get our 7-for-1.
And IG, they go for the play, but amazing arrow coming out for LWX. Baolan just does kind of just walk into it, but clearly not expecting it. Then Chris, once again, making the big play. I think Doinby and Tien have been the two standouts because of how well they've been using their pressure mid in those globals. But Crisp, even being involved in 3 kills, has put so much pressure on the map. Even when he wasn't involved in those top lane kills earlier on, his hover towards mid is what allowed it to happen.
He's level 4 when he started making this run.
And here we go. The arrow comes out, chaining that into the W from Doinby. They're able to burst out Baolan and flash from Crisp. So nice with that death sentence. Walks forward, gets the 2-man play. As I suddenly had a southern accent, they keep going on to the Shy. And, you know, he's going to get taken down by the Galio Q in the end.
I love the zoning from Gimgoon around the Rift Herald as Ning took it. It's like, no, you're not getting this. And the Shy goes in a little bit too deep to try and find it. Chris with the blind hook only onto the blue buff. Tien wants to steal and says, thank you for the leash, chump. 4-0-2. He's got warriors, and that just leads him right to the dragon. 4K
I mean,
gold lead, sir.
This is free for FPX. Like, IG realistically have no way of contesting this one. And it's going to be really interesting to see how IG could realistically even get back into this game. But, hey, well, FPX maybe going back to something that's familiar, but going to back off at the last
The
second.
IG outscale this with the Volibear frontline, the Galio. What's your initial thoughts? Because I know it's built on the engage like IG have drafted many, many times.
In pure 5v5, seeing the way the build the Shy is going, no. FPX should definitely be able to win out in those later 5v5s, but I don't feel like that even matters right now because we're 4K gold ahead on the side of FPX.
Sure.
Like, you win out any fight at this point forward, you should just be able to keep your foot on the gas pedal and keep going.
And just keep looking for that Doinby ultimate, right? He has teleport, he has Predator available very shortly, and that ulti.
That's the thing. I want to keep seeing them play towards topside because we can just keep seeing the Galio hover. We've obviously seen Crisp has a lot of freedom to just move from this lane, put all this pressure top, try and break down that top tier 1, and then we can turn that into something like a Rift Herald. Yep. And we only have 2 plates down on the bottom side as well, so should be quite easy to break that one down.
That is the funny thing, right? When you have such an acceleration so early in the game, you have plating available. So FPX, the world, their oyster, a lot of gold available.
They also have just way more plates. They've got 2 top, 1 mid, and 3 bot.
Yeah.
IG, only have 1 plate in the bot lane.
Which is crazy when you see how IG have been playing these games. At least game 1 and game 2. But we're heading down the barrel of an early defeat. Now, at this point, we just keep going through the lanes. IG trying to get some advantage through the Shy up in this top lane.
Yeah, Baolan has even made his way top, so maybe looking to even set up a potential dive on top side. He does have Slicing Maelstrom up. Everything is up for Ning and Baolan.
All right. Well, depth charge is going to be crucial in this next engage. Gimgoon with a low mana bar, but his ulti's still there. Dredgeline used just to get in range. Ultimate with the flash, waiting for it as he ults out. Gimgoon burns his own flash. Sky Splitter with the shield. The Slicing Maelstrom doesn't do too much. Puff helps out. They use 4 ultimates for that while LWX trades it with first turret blood.
I mean, they have to give up that bot lane turret. Still, Puff is going to go pick up CS in the mid lane and share that alongside Rookie, but IG had to overcommit on one side to even be able to make a play, so at least they're getting something back, but nice answer from IG. I do like the way that that IG played it, because we saw Ning and Balan take it slow. They were hovering the wall. They didn't want to show too early and cut off the wave like you see a lot of teams do, because of course Doomby can always follow with his ultimate and his TP, so they had to kind of wait it out as long as possible.
But it's just a great indicator of where IG are in this game, right? That's what they have to do to get one kill and get a trade of gold on the map. That's how much it takes. As Gimgoon goes down, he's the trade-off, while LWX picks up a lot of gold in this matchup. He's 1,500 over Puff. He's a person without a bounty, but he is quite fed.
Interestingly enough, on our mini-map, we actually saw Doomby TP to top, get out that instant push, so they can look for this invade in the enemy jungle.
Doomby has popped the Predator. He's running at Ning, but he's already away. While Ning just has to forfeit some of his jungle up towards his top side and gives them plating over for the next 20 seconds while it's available.
That's a great way of, I guess we can call it, I don't want to call it artificial tempo because it is tempo, but a great way of creating tempo out of nowhere is just, you know, committing that instant TP back to lane. You have the item advantage, you're able to push that out instantly, and it allowed Chris to make his way into that jungle first. It got the vision down, and the Herald will be up soon. So that one TP from Doomby going to translate into a lot of instant pressure.
I like the word vision alongside those lines as well. Deep vision in front of the Herald means that FPX just getting ready for this to be spawning in under a minute. Will even be some time for a reset.
If you want, I can throw out all the buzzwords for you. Vision, tempo, priority.
Oh, my top button just came undone.
Rotations.
Oh, you got one more for me?
Oh, God.
What's
the
next?
synergy on this desk is too much.
It got a bit weird, didn't it?
As we see Doomby just instantly clearing out wave mid, Tien is going to be able to pick up that top side Herald, and Ning is top side, but I expect IG to just let this one go. Dragon is coming up in 40 seconds. So maybe going to transition down to that bot side for vision. Oh, actually, it's not Ning on top. That's Rookie.
That's all right. Again, spectator needs to change. It'd be nice if we could see the Nico at all times. If anyone's listening. As the Shy wants solo kill, slicing Maelstrom used. Gimgoon trying to escape, and you know what? Solo kill territory. No! It's a volley ban with Sky Splitter. Gimgoon just sends it right back.
You know the funniest part of that play? The Shy was the one laughing when it happened, while Gimgoon sat there as serious as could be.
At like 1/4 health the whole time. The Blade of the Ruined King cannon has been knocked down for his 5th death.
So IG are hard committing to playing through sides. FPX, I'm sorry, going to get a ton of value through just forcing these plays as a team.
As the Chetical Arrow narrowly misses onto Ning, her collateral damage is away. We're taking a look at base because the Shy has TP but no ulti. But of course he just wants to move back to this side lane. You mentioned through sides. Rookie picked up a turret in that top side meanwhile. As, oh, they're going to do this. Rookie's making the TP. Lyric, are you ready? Pop Blossom with Flash is available. He's coming on in, pretending to be Ning. Goes golden. I don't know if that was a mistake, but Rookie, that was not good.
I don't even understand what he was looking for. We've said many times, IG's comp doesn't play out like this. They have a Blade of the Ruined King cannon. This cannon only provides his auto attack damage. His spells don't actually do anything other than provide some utility. I don't know.
When Rookie has high highs, he also has low lows.
How do you tilt after the game you win? They just won.
IG stuff.
They came back strong and smart after their first loss, you know, with an asterisk on it because it was a bit of a mess. But hey, they won game 2. Coming to game 3, and
so
there's nothing to break down here.
I'll break this down for you. TP's on a ward. Oh, misclick. Wanted to make sure that the ward would see it.
Why TP in the first place?
Oh my god. Well, we're going to game 4.
I mean,
and
we were going to go to game 4 regardless.
But we're definitely
there
going.
was no way to not go to game 4.
But IG tried to make it as FPX favored as possible. I mean, this point around, let me just be real and say that FPX have been the better team in this series so far.
Yes.
There have been some miss moments in game 2.
have been a team.
But FPX have definitely been communicating so much better. Or do you remember in round 1 versus V5, was it you and I casting that? It was.
Yes, it was.
Versus V5, the miscommunication out of FPX was appalling for a world champion lineup.
We just saw them, kind of funnily enough, we saw them get outlaned and outmatched. And you would think that would be able to happen against IG if it can happen against V5, but
Yeah.
very susceptible to the way V5 draft, because V5 always drafted a strong bot side and had a lot of winning lanes and played through snowballing through early game. IG haven't really done that this series.
Hey, we're doing this again,
Oh
except
my god.
the Shy is 1-6. When does that buff come through?
Not this game.
No, not this game. This AD cannon.
I'm sorry. Oh,
Enchanted across the arrow, dodged away from. Rookie now has Crisp on him, though. Flashes from the death sentence. And, you know, this one's in the bin at 18 minutes in. If the Shy dying 1v1 versus the Volley Bear, who took no damage, is an indicator, then I don't know what it is.
I wonder if IG are talking about next game already.
I would be. Can we just have a moment to talk about the Shy, just if it's only 30 seconds?
Yes.
What a roller coaster of emotion we've been through this year.
Let's enjoy. He goes in. Blade of the Rookie comes out once again.
Just gets
This
W'd.
champion only
Auto.
does damage with his auto attacks. His spells provide him absolutely nothing. And, you know, there's a reason why no one plays this champion, AD. No one.
Are you ready for this roller coaster?
Let's go.
We started summer thinking the Shy was playing some of his worst League of Legends, of course from MSC.
Really
They had
good
some
playoffs.
good games. Yep. We got towards playoffs, and the Shy got better. We got in playoffs. The Shy was not great again as he auto attacks Doinby, who doesn't really have too much armor bar the Zhonya's, so maybe he does, excuse me. Enchanted across the arrows flying in, dodged away from the Shy. Level 11 gets out, but FPX are grouping up.
And, you know, okay, Balan.
All right, he wants to start. Chris actually flashes away. Tien is over the wall.
I'm just saying, he's the most consistent Nautilus I've ever seen at queuing that terrain.
Yeah.
He always moves forward.
That's how good Balan is, right?
Balan, you know, never looks behind, never looks to the pass. But moving forward, I think the nice thing about FPX's comp from here on out, I mean, I guess any comp with a 9k gold lead, but even more so this one, they're going to pry out in all three lanes, so it's going to consistently be this where we see their bot lane link up with Tien, push out mid lane, get vision on the side of the jungle that they're playing around. Right now they're getting bot side vision. That is, it actually just seems like they're following the Shy around, which at this point is a great strategy. The Shy is so squishy, the Shy doesn't, he's able to lock you down, you know, if he gets that ultimate, if he's able to stun you up, but then you're dead.
He's never going to get a chance to push past River in this series, is
No,
he?
he's gone.
I said series. I actually might be right.
I'm pretty positive Tien wins the 1v1.
Yes.
Oh, he's even a level up.
I am too. Let's go. Blade of the Ruined King. Remember, ulti's available. Is not a 1v1 though, because remember, Doombee's coming in and the Shy. 1-7. Get your soccer references out.
Hey, though, IG are on top side. They can
Yep.
potentially do something, but guess what? You're against the Volley Bear. And one of the reasons, talking to pros, that LPL's always preferred Volley Bear, even over some champions like Set that I saw places like NLCS and LCE going towards, is the versatility
Nice.
in Cleanse. But no, the versatility that the ultimate gives you, like a champion like Set, right, where you have to get on another champion, typically you only go in, Volley Bear can get out, can get in, has more avenues available to him.
Man, I think Tien so far, in this series, Tien has been a great kindred. I mean, this is his third time playing it. I just want to note that with marks, he's been super on point. This is his 8th. In all 3 games, he's gone above 6, which in the LPL is actually not too common.
In all 3 games, he's had 2 winning side lanes.
That also helps. As Dragon's going to go over. We're on Mountain Soul just to make things worse for IG. Match point being faced right now. An elimination for Invictus Gaming. The regional qualifier buff could feel like it's already diminishing.
They are the world champions of the regional qualifier.
Yep. IG haven't won a best of 5 outside of regional qualifiers for 2 years. It's been since do you remember 2018 against RNG? Apart from World, sorry, to clarify. Lyric has written me a note. Thank you, sir.
You know,
You help. Hey, brother, you look out for me.
I write you notes all the time.
And this is good, brother. You know, this is not the brother people meme about. This is a good, you know, thank you, brother. But, oh, Tangle Barbs.
This is not Hulk Hogan, as some of you might assume.
Nah. Always played it. I remember on GameCube, WrestleMania. He was my character. Hogan Smash or whatever it is.
Winby looking for it. But nope, they're just going to instead guarantee some priority, put down some vision. And, I mean, honestly, at this point, I wish they would. I'm sure they could just continuously bait out the Baron, force IG to come into them.
Oh, flash shield to Duran. This is onto Rookie and his clone. Enchanted across the arrow with a follow-up. Pop Blossom won't come through, and immediately Baron on the menu for FPX.
FPX realistically could have done this at any time in the past 5 minutes. They are so far ahead. IG have no hope of coming into them. And we're going to see Gimgoon come over after pushing the bottom lane just to provide a bit of safety. IG need to look for a steal.
Yeah, they do, but instead FPX just turned the fight and flashes over the wall. Baolan's dead. All right, well, here we go again. And now back to the Baron for round 2. What do you do? Oh, Gimgoon killed the Shy again.
And he's still laughing. Look at him. Gimgoon's serious. The Shy is
laughing.
jovial.
How? The Shy has died. He's double-digit deaths in the series.
Maybe he's laughing because he knows something we don't. He knows the second it gets to that magic number 10, that's where it all starts.
Oh, yeah, this is when the split push cannon. I mean, he's got a Zeal, he's got a pickaxe. I think he's like Winsu's and then maybe Rapid Fire.
Man, it doesn't matter what he buys. It doesn't matter. Put anything in his inventory right now for free. They still don't win.
Maybe he's laughing because he thinks Game 4 is the RG buff.
So what you're saying is
We're going to 5.
even numbers. But the tragedy for that is, you know, Game 5 exists.
True. But
could
then
be
IG
like-
normally win that.
It could be like how like certain countries have like certain numbers they don't put in like elevators or building floors.
Oh, yeah. Like, for example, here, no 4th floor.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day.
There is no 4th floor in
In
China.
America, it is 13, I think.
Oh, there's no 13th floor in hotels.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
In Australia, we have all floors because we don't bloody waste space. You know?
It doesn't waste. It does nothing. You're
Well,
just write a different number.
But how annoying it would be, I'm on the 4th floor, but I'm not really. Oh, the teleport. Wait. Oh, he TP'd. No! Gimgoon was waiting. Oh, no. We don't have to watch
Let's
this.
remember, he was first on our All-Pro team, right? First. Number 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for you guys out there, the Shy was our MVP top laner. Best in the league, as voted.
Yep. Yes, he was. And now he's 1-8.
I love that. Again, this FPX plan is just so great.
It's
Even
fine.
finding a
Yeah.
way to make use of LWXs, whatever you want to say, poor form, not being as good on these champions in these meta, still finding value.
I'm not even casting this. He flashes away. At least the Shy lives, but 1-8 again. He is more than half of the death for Invictus Gaming is against the turret. They're trying to find that last engage, but FPX still very healthy with the Kindred ult available. Ning gets the half himself, and forward they go into this turret to try and clear away.
Look, I told the story last game of how FPX are our like anime protagonists. They're like one of those OP ones that have plot armor. You can't do anything against them, Asterix. They just win.
Oh, he's got Rapid Fire now, Lyric.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does. This is where
Let's
I
see.
win. Well, flash forward. Oh, actually, they're lining up the Tangle Buff, but Tien's ult is going to do a lot as Pop Blossom comes down. It's flashed away from the Hero's Entrance, re-engages. Now maybe it matters, Lyric, because the Shy might have his choose of the kill onto Doomby. How did IG win that?
I mean, it all came from Puff and Rookie, right? The rapid fire cannon, sadly, not a significant part, but nice
Tangle Buff.
Nice Tangle Barb, nice double ultimate coming out from the IG members. We saw FPX got so low after that play. They are still sitting at a 10k gold deficit, but hey, this was going to be soul for FPX.
And somehow now it's going to have to try and be a steal from Tien.
I mean, with this gold lead, I feel like FPX can fight 4v5.
4v5, yeah. I
They
mean, Tien.
Oh wait, no lambs despite ult though.
All right. Let's see. IG want to draw it out. Remember, Pup has the sustain. 4 versus 5 is 10k enough. You'd think it would be. The Shy's waiting for Tien to hop over the wall. He gets stunned up, and Chenekr's arrow comes through. Tien is dead, thanks to Rookie. The Dragon secured, and FPX now in the middle with Gimgoon leading the charge. 4 versus 1. The Bear angry. Someone took his honey as Pop Blossom is avoided with good timing of the stopwatch. And IG getting low. Baolander sacrifices his life. Puff flashes over the wall, and the Bear is still hungry. Baolan may be dead alongside the rest of IG, but Ning and Rookie aren't. The death sentence comes in, and just like that for Dragon, they sacrifice 4.
Great play coming out from Gimgoon. Just a great series overall. Crisp as well with the flash play onto 2 members. Gimgoon TPs in. Looks like they want to set up for a play on this bottom side turret. IG's mid lane inhib is also respawned, so you'd think they want to open that up as well. It does look like they're rotating now.
I'm going to say something that is never been said versus the Shy in the past.
Gimgoon's the best top laner in the world.
Well, I was going to say top lane difference.
Oh.
Really feels like it's the element of the series, but hey, best top laner in this series is not the Shy.
You know, and the surprising part isn't even the fact that we're saying it about the Shy.
Yeah.
It's the fact that we're saying it about Gimgoon versus the Shy. No disrespect to Gimgoon. He fills his niche really well. He's one of the best. Gimgoon is the best at being Gimgoon. But, I mean, man, in this series, guys popping off.
God bless
Let's see.
Gimgoon.
So there's the Flash Tangle Bar
Oh, wow.
coming in from Rookie, setting up for the ultimate coming out from Puff. Rookie then runs forward. The Shy did do a bit of damage on LWX as well. Then Doonby left in a very bad spot. Dredge line from Balan. That's all she wrote.
And we see this fight, which denies the Mountain Soul.
Hey, and actually the Shy did do quite a bit of damage there.
He did, but
Instantly
Gimgoon's still
he
better.
did. I mean,
He's fed.
Gimgoon's fed, Gimgoon's taking, he gets in there crisp there as well. Nice hook to deny Balan, and he plays the flash play onto two members. Great series from Crisp on the Thresh so far.
Yep. 008. He goes beyond Bond as the Shy's backing topside. FPX don't spot him. And now sacrifices his, well, not really much.
I even like the redemption coming out from him at this point because all of these fights are very extended fights. They already have a lot of durable tools, as we've talked about in previous games with the Lamp of Spite. So you're going to get a lot of value and be able to fully use that redemption.
Rookie gets hit with the Enchanted Arrow, though, at half health. Gets a Tangle Barbs, but he might just be dead. Puff can't heal him in time. And there you go, 4 versus 5 for 45 seconds. IG, that may have sealed the deal.
Yeah, they still have all their other tools available. Every other ultimate is up. And we look at LWX, his is even already a third of the way there. They can keep going forward and forcing.
Inhibitor going to be first. Mid was already broken. FPX are dragging this minion wave in. LWX is going to take the root. Dredge line set up from Balan. He wants to engage. The Wombo flies through again, but without Rookie, it's a lot harder. Gimgoon gets hit pretty hard as Tien is running for the Kindred heavy, while the Shy is DPSing. The 1-9 cannon forces out the Lamb's respite, while the rest of FPX are getting busy. The Slicing Maelstrom with the stun down, but the Shy will die his 10th time in Game 3, and Ning and Puff can't defend this.
And Doonby has TP. He's going to come back in, and FPX will be able to close out this game.
Eventually, they get through. IG managed to get 4 kills as Enchantress Arrow flies in, hits the mark. Puff gets the kill. Pop Blossom flies down. But FPX match point in what has been a chaotic series so far.
It's been a head-scratcher. We've seen 3 very similar drafts back-to-back. It makes me wonder if next game that IG will finally change sides. But IG need to change something.
They need to change something because...
Oh my god, I mean,
holy
the Shy.
moly. He died half the deaths of FPX.
But even the pick was confusing, right? Because, again, AD Ken is just not a good champion. We don't see it played for a reason. It is much more about playing that hard split push style, which is totally not what this meta's about.
Really isn't. Oh, this has just been, I use the word perfectly, chaotic. Why does the Shy have the most damage?
Because he got to sit in lane against a melee champion. He built AD and he was autoing all game long.
People would see that and be like, dude,
wow, the Shy
really tried to carry IG. And then they look at the game score.
Hey, to be fair, I don't want to discount his effort. I'm sure he did try to carry IG.
Hey, I'll give him something. At least as a 1 in 10 cannon, you did a lot of damage in the end. You know, those last couple of fights.
IG trying is different from other teams trying, though. There's, again, right? A
Try harder. Because, Lyric, let's be real.
Look, you could say change your approach, but...
Let's be real.
Yes.
IG and FPX, you and I, we know these teams quite well. We've been looking at them for a while. You know, I started casting last year. You've been an LPL fan for a very long time. IG and FPX, we know as teams, and we have very high standards. This series, does it hit those standards? I mean, high standards in the sense that IG have very high highs. FPX have amazing high highs as well. They're both world champions.
You know what the problem is? You know what the issue is? I was talking to one of our bosses the other day, and I told him, when you believe in IG is when IG sucks.
Yeah.
The problem is that coming into the series, most people believed in IG.
Oh, you think that's why they're performing poorly? I didn't perform. I did.
You did. You predicted them as well. We all predicted them except Clement and I think it was Joe?
Yeah.
And see, maybe they were smart. Maybe they were angling for the IG win by predicting the other way, but I know the fans believe in them as well. Everyone believes in IG.
The problem is, like, FPX at the moment look like the cleaner team. And even though
Much cleaner.
in Game 2 it was very back and forth, but Game 1 and Game 3, FPX have been clinical. Tien is returning back to form.
And let's actually, give a bit of context to this game, because we saw them change up their draft this time to get that Kennen in the top side, and we saw it was going to be 80 Kennen the second he took that press the attack rune.
Yes.
And this was much more about playing through this top lane carry, making sure it's an isolated 1v1, giving it vision and letting it win out. But from the time when I remember Chris roamed mid and unlocked Duinbi and Tien to go into the enemy jungle, and they started picking up a bunch of kills topside, well, now your top lane's exploded. We've seen every game that Ashe is going to have priority in the bottom lane, and it doesn't matter that Duinbi's falling behind in CS because he can always match with his global. So now, as FPX, you have pressure in all 3 lanes with the carry jungler.
Is it worth just saying ban Galio?
I don't know what you open.